Check.
Hello and welcome in on a beautiful day and an exciting day for playoff football. We're live in Erie, Colorado, as your Erie Tigers are set to take on the Durango Demons. Well, welcome in, everybody. We are so excited to be with you here today for this broadcast of playoff football. And this playoff football could not be broadcast without the help of so many people. We will get to them and thank them in a moment. But Brandon Bird here live with Grayson Blaylock. And Grayson, an exciting time. Of course, last year was also exciting.
Last year was exciting. A heart racer down in Durango. Now they're up here, and we've got a big crew, several cameras for you today, and we're ready.
And we had some highlights from last year's game that we thought we would play you. We're running a little bit short in terms. Instead, we got the chance to sit down and talk with Coach Cooper about this team's season, the playoffs upcoming, and, of course, this game here today. So let's go ahead and take a listen to that. All right, we're joined here. We're lucky enough to be joined here the eve before the big game by with Coach Cooper. And Coach, obviously an exciting time for the program as playoffs start again. But first of all, want to kind of recap the season and talk about last week, first league championship in many, many years.
Yeah.
What was that feeling like amongst the locker room after the game?
Well, during the game itself, I felt like we didn't play very well as well as I would have hoped. I tried not to bring that into the locker room. I wanted the guys to be excited, and I don't know if you've seen the videos out there of Mr. Carpenter with the shirts and stuff like that. So there was definitely a lot of excitement. We expected to be league champs, obviously, and it was one of our main goals of the regular season. So it was a good feeling. We came back on Monday and tried to address some of the issues that caused us some problems on Friday because, to be honest with you, Fort Morgan's a very good team, but if we play like that in the playoffs, someone's going to beat us. So we have to get that stuff corrected. But in terms of the history part, not being a league champ since '97, it was a good deal, and the kids deserve to be proud of themselves.
You mentioned kind of struggling with some things last week. Obviously, you go through this whole season where you're not tested even by some of the better teams on your schedule once the fourth quarter rolls around. Do you think ultimately being in a game like that right before the playoffs is good or even ideal for this team?
Well, we'll find out. But yes, in terms of, when you're not playing an opponent that doesn't basically pull out your flaws, you can't correct them. And then in the playoffs, they could be fatal. So I think it was good, and we addressed a lot of stuff there. We didn't play bad. I don't want to put it like that. We didn't turn the ball over. Special teams I thought played really well, but we had some offsides penalties on defense. We didn't get off the field a couple times. Fourth and, 15 inside the red zone, and then fourth down for offense was an issue. So it wasn't like glaring flaws. I just felt like we need to be better on those, and if we were better on those, it would have been more decisive victory.
Sure.
I think we addressed it. Hopefully it'll bear its weight in coming up on Saturday with Durango. I felt like last year, even though we lost 2 out of our last 3 games, we were able to correct those things, and it helped us on our run last year. So hopefully we have the same type of success with fixing that stuff coming up here for our playoffs.
So we're hosting Durango, a team that was in our opponent in the second round last year, which was a heck of a nail-biting game.
Right.
Do you kind of take some stuff from that game last year and what they did against you guys? Do you look at that, or do you mostly kind of focus on what they've been doing this year?
A little bit of both. In terms of scheme, you definitely, it's same coaching staff, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and you can just see tendencies, and how they're going to try to attack the stuff that you do very well. We're not the same team we were last year, but we have the same philosophies. So you kind of get a good idea of what they try to take away from you and how they're going to try to attack you offensively. So in terms of that, we have looked at last year and try to see that. Now, they're not the same team. We're not the same team. So we have looked at film. We have 3 or 4 of their films from last year with their personnel and see kind of where we can attack them with their personnel. And where we feel confident this year in attacking them. But yeah, we definitely have looked at the playoff game from last year, kind of correcting the stuff from last year that we need to get better at. But also, it's a different team, and we're a different team, and hopefully we can be better than we were in the playoff game last year. Because even though we won, I mean, a 4th and 13, you don't want to leave it to one play late in the game like that this year.
Last year, obviously, for that game, a 7-hour bus ride out there. You stopped at practice. Durango's going to have to deal with that this year. What are you kind of telling your guys in terms of, does that provide a mental edge?
Yeah.
You think? Is there something you want to see early in the game? This week?
I try to focus on us a little bit more. The kids know that travel for them that they're going to have to go through. I try. My focus this week is, you guys know how good we play at home. Since I got here as a head coach, I think we've lost 3 games on our field, and that's in 3 years. So that's what I try to preach is more. You know how good we can be on our home field. We protect our home field. We play physical. We run the ball. We play physical on defense. So the kids know what they got to go through. And if I'm Durango and I'm the head coach, I'm saying, hey, last year we went on the road against Canyon City and upset a 9-1 team as a lower seed, and they're probably feeding that to their kids, trying to give them confidence in that. So I'm happy we're home. I'm glad we don't have to travel. Do I think it's an advantage to a certain degree? But you have to make plays to win games, and they have enough athletes to still be able to do that.
You mentioned your home record, 3 years.
Yeah.
We talked before the season last year.
Yeah.
And kind of a state of where the program is and where you thought it could go. Sitting here this year, you guys state runner-up last year. You're undefeated 10-0 this year. When you think back to that time a couple years ago, did you even imagine that this program would have this much success this quickly?
I knew we had talented kids, and I knew last year, although we made some plays and some spots that helped us make that run. I think we've done a good job of establishing what Erie's all about. That's really running the ball effectively. Noah Roper helps that, but I think up front I've done a great job this year of blocking for him, being able to keep teams off balance just enough, throwing the ball vertically. Defensively, I think we've had good defensive linemen, and then in the secondary, we were able to play good enough man coverage and mix it up with some other stuff. Did I see us being this successful? You know what's there, and I saw us having some success. Did I see us going to a state championship game last year? I don't want to say that caught me off guard, but that was something that I was proud of. I'm trying to relate to my kids that all means nothing now. Is kind of my focus. That league championship was great. 10-0 is great, but all it takes to kind of wipe that off, the whole entire thing, is a loss on Saturday or a loss throughout the playoffs. So we're kind of trying to focus on new season, moving. Got to beat Durango, a very good football team. And I know that's cliche for a head coach to say, but that's kind of the truth.
Yeah. Last year, when Pueblo East came in, a very tight game, a late decision to go for 2 or not.
Sure.
Do you get really nervous as a coach in the playoffs in those situations? Because I know up in the booth, I feel nervous.
You can't script that stuff out. You just kind of go with your gut. I have good coaches, assistant coaches that give me good feedback throughout the game, and you kind of get the game flow. How's the game going at the time? So with last year's game, we just kind of ran out of gas on defense, and it just kind of felt like we're on our home field. We got one play, let's give the ball to the best player in the state, and Noah was able to get in, and we were able to win. So at times you kind of got to just, trust your gut. That's what got me to this spot where I'm at now, and I will follow that. Is it always going to work? No. But if you trust your gut more often than not, I think it puts you in good spots.
I know you already mentioned not looking ahead, and I'm not assuming anything, but is there ever a feeling on this team that they hope that maybe somewhere along the line they'll get another shot at Palmer Ridge?
Palmer's a talented team. I've seen them play a couple times. Obviously with Ty Evans, they've figured out, they had a couple bumps in the road. against some very, very good teams. So we would be really excited for playing them because that means it's a state championship rematch. We haven't really addressed that with the kids very much because I don't think if they're looking at that, then I'm not doing my job correctly. Have we been, getting ready for a potential game the entire year in terms of being prepared as coaches? We've been doing that, but not just them. Pueblo East and a couple other teams that we figure will be there. I think the kids would really love a shot at Palmer Ridge, but you can't win a state championship this week. You can lose it. Yeah. I know Durango feels like they kind of should have beat us last year. That's their mentality going into this game, and they have a shot to basically undo their 6-4 record with one false swoop. I know, like I said, I know it's cliche, but I'm really trying to have the kids focus on this week because that's how you get beat is, hey, Palmer Ridge is going to be there at the end and we'll be there. Because high school football is a funny thing. It can be a crazy thing. Not the best team doesn't always win. You got to play well in the playoffs because it's sometimes the games are so short. So that's what we're trying to do is beat Durango and then see who comes out of the TJ Green Mountain winner.
As a coach, you wear a lot of different hats.
Yeah.
This week is one of those weeks where you're hosting a playoff game.
Yeah.
How much does that put on your plate, and how do you kind of manage the administration of putting on a football game and then coaching these guys up and getting them ready?
Sure. I'm lucky enough to have a great administration here. Mr. Justin Carpenter, our athletic director, and Mr. Buckler, our principal, so supportive. And Justin does a great job of taking the game day kind of stuff off my plate. I don't really have to worry about who's going to be doing the chains, who's going to be running this or that gate. He just kind of says, hey, this is what's going on. And if it's a big decision, he comes in and we have that conversation. But he lets me focus on football, and so does Mr. Buckler. So that's a good thing to have, to focus on football. Do I feel like I need an extra couple hours every day? Yeah. I think that's any coach would say, hey, I wish I could do this, this, and this. But sometimes you can kind of overanalyze, and it can paralyze you just a little bit. You need to stick to the stuff that got you here. And I told my coaching staff that let's work on the stuff that got us to this point. If you try to come up with the perfect plays to beat this defense, I think that's where you get in trouble a little bit. So we've been trying to focus on that. Just, hey, let's stay within ourselves and let's be a good team. But do I wish, I had a couple hours? I do. So tonight I'm going to finally get away from football a little bit. Me and my wife are going to go see a movie, do dinner, and then try to kind of put that aside. I think that's mentally helpful for me a little bit.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Great choice in sweater, by the way.
We look great, don't we? We look great. This wasn't
great.
coordinated at all. Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us. Best of luck in your big game. We're going to take a timeout, head to commercial. We'll come back for our pregame here on the Erie Tiger Network.
All right. Thank you.
And welcome back in, and live right now is the national anthem. All right, so that was singing the national anthem. People are excited. We're going to take a timeout here. We'll come back for more pregame here on the Erie Tiger Network.
Do you want a better smile, have a broken bracket, or are you a teenager in need of some braces? Then make your way down to Caraway Orthodontics. They are located in Louisville and Erie. Caraway Orthodontics supports Erie High School and its community. Come in and gain a beautiful smile for children, teens, and adults. They also provide Invisalign. Call this number 303-828-0454 or go to carawayortho.com.
Click the search bar on the top right-hand corner of the screen and search up Erie Tiger Network. Click the channel icon and then press the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to receive notifications about when we post. Click the thumbs up icon to like the video. To enter full screen mode, press the icon on the bottom right-hand corner. To skip forward or backwards 10 seconds, double tap the left or right hand side of the screen. Press the pause button in the middle of the screen to pause the video. To skip to a different video, press the skip button when the video is paused.
Can you really?
Take a deep breath for a second, Tiger fans. The drama's not over yet.
Are you ready for it?
And welcome back in Erie Tiger Network as we are almost all set for kickoff. The Erie Tigers will be receiving this kick. They're wearing their black jerseys, the black pants, the orange crowns. For Durango, it is the white jerseys, white pants, and red helmets. Well, thank you so much for joining us here today on the Erie Tiger Network. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also follow us along for updates at ErieTigerNetwork.com. And we are excited. We also have friends listening in Durango on KKGD 99.7. So welcome into the broadcast if you're listening in Durango. Just so you're aware, this is the Erie Tiger Network. A little bit Erie-centric here on the broadcast, but we will do our best to get excited for you Durango fans as well when Durango makes some good plays. And what a good game it should be. Right now across the field, Durango set to kick this one off deep. Noah Roper all alone back to receive the kickoff as Noah Roper looking to continue to make his assault on the record books. Here goes the kick, a low worm-burning kick, bounces at the 20 and will roll all the way in to the end zone, and the Tigers will start from their own 20.
And just something to note, Jordan Wolverton, the quarterback for Durango, is apparently also their kicker. He just had that kickoff, so something to keep an eye on maybe if you're an Erie fan.
All right, so 1st and 10 for the Tigers as they are ready to run their first play. Noah Roper, 5,956 career yards rushing, only 4 yards away from 6,000 career yards. And the Tiger fans are excited. They're out there stomping. And here we go. Mendoza will come out for the Tigers at quarterback. He's in the pistol, too wide to the right. They'll send Vera in motion across the formation. Ball spotted between the hashes. Here goes the handoff to Roper. Sputters through a hole. Has a big hole. He's off to the races on the first play across the 50. And he has got one man to beat. Cuts back and finally gets slung down from behind inside the 20 all the way down to the 19.
And what a run it was from Roper. He had his blockers to get out in front of him, made a cut, and then was off to the races. I don't think he could see the man behind him and ended up making a cut back into a tackle, but a huge, almost an 60-yard run for Roper.
And now Mendoza in the pistol again, hands off to Roper, right side. Kind of weaves his way through traffic, then gets stacked up, but a pretty good gain there for Noah on first down, a pickup of 5 after the 61-yard opening play rush for Noah Roper. He rushed for over 200 in last year's game against Durango. Now that'll bring up a 2nd and 5. Ball spotted at the near hash at the 14. Mendoza will check the play at the line. Furman split out wide to the left. Only receiver in the formation. A couple tight ends. Mendoza takes it, hands off. Roper, left side, dances, spins through a hole, and loses the football, and Durango has popped on it. It was a pickup of about 5. He was falling to the turf, and the ball comes out, and Noah Roper fumbles for only the 2nd time all season.
And like you said, Roper just falling to the ground and then got the ball punched out, it appeared. His back was to us in the press box, so couldn't really see how he lost the ball, but that is what it appeared.
And so it'll be 1st and 10 for Durango after the turnover, and they'll start from their own 11. And a surprise, and that was one of our keys, and we'll go over those here in just a little bit as Jordan Wolverton for Durango will start out in the shotgun. Man across the formation, that's Mestis, and penalty flags flying, and I think we're going to have our first penalty already on Durango, and it will be a 5-yard false start.
And that penalty just pushes Durango farther back into their own territory. Still a good opportunity for the Erie defense here to get a stop, pin them back deep, maybe not give their punter any room to get the ball away.
So now 1st and 15. Still waiting for the first snap here for Durango. Backed up now to their own 6. Overton claps the hands off, and no, another flag. And this time from the near sideline official. And let's see here. And another false start. So back-to-back false start penalties. And now Durango's backed up to their own 3. So not an ideal start offensively for the Demons. Now Wolverton will come out. His toes are 5 yards deep in the end zone here. He'll send a man in motion. That's Mestis across the formation. 4 wide here for the Demons. Takes a snap, hands off, and Markham will be slung down to the turf after a pickup there of about 5 yards on the play. Dawson Markham was the running back last year as well when these two teams faced off. 12 carries, 67 yards. Really most of Durango's damage was either off turnovers or through the air.
And that's something that they've kind of gotten away from this year. They've only had one game where they've thrown the ball more than they've run it.
Now 2nd and 12 for the Demons. Ball spotted between the hashes here at the 9. Now empty backfield. Markham motions out. Here's a draw. Wolverton escapes one tackler, then bounces off another and hits the turf at the 15. A pickup there of 6 for Wolverton. And that'll bring up 3rd and 6 here for the Demons.
And that kind of plays something Durango likes to do a lot. Spread out the field and give Wolverton a draw. He's their 2nd leading rusher on the year.
So 3rd and 6, ball spotted between the hashes again. Wolverton in the shotgun. He's got trips to the right wide side of the field. Now man in motion, that's Hayes. He'll come to the near side. Wolverton drops back to pass, looking. He's being pressured, scrambles, fumbles as he's sacked. The Tigers pop on it. There's also a flag on the field as Highs got hit, I think, further than 5 yards down the field. He got decked to the turf, and there's a fumble, so not sure what to make of this yet. And this is going to be on Erie.
And I believe it's going to be on the corner that was over Alex Highs, one of the leading receivers for Durango. And that flag right at the feet of where Isaac, Kana, and Augustin Celeste are, so probably on one of them. It appears the officials are trying to sort out which happened first, the penalty or the fumble.
And it will be a hold on Erie. Now, Highs got decked. He didn't get held, so I'm not sure where that call comes from. But a fortunate break there on a fumble from Durango, and Erie would have had the ball inside the Durango 15. And now the officials still discussing as a hold defensively is not an automatic first down in high school. And now the officials continue to congregate. Well, while we have a second, of course, you can watch all our games by going to ErieTigerNetwork.com. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Erie Tiger Network, like the Erie Tiger Network Facebook page, or check us out online, ErieTigerNetwork.com. They will give the first down after the penalty yardage here to Durango as they mark that at the spot, and so it'll be 1st and 10 from the 22.
And just an unfortunate break there for Erie.
Now Wolverton in the shotgun here for Durango. Tigers kind of crowding the box, but trips wide to the right. Football is on the ground. Wolverton had to pick it up. He'll run it off on the right side. He gets met there by Noah Roper, but not before he gains 7 yards around the right side. And now Wolverton already 13 yards rushing. That'll bring up a 2nd and 3.
And there's Wolverton running the ball again. Obviously, we saw him throw it a lot last year. They've kind of turned into more of a spread team. They like to keep the ball on the ground with Markham and Wolverton now. It helps them set up play-action passes for Wolverton.
So 2nd and 3, just inside the 30. They've got to get out to the 30, about 2.5 here, does Durango. 3 wide in the pattern. Low snap, picked up, handoff to Markham. He leans forward, has enough for the first down by about a couple yards, and Durango's got another first down here out across the Tiger 33 to the 34, or excuse me, their own 34 is where they'll spot them.
And still seeing Durango keep it on the ground with Markham. Markham, 2nd or 3rd leading rusher in 3A with about 1,400 yards this year. Averaging about 15, 20 carries a game. So, and he's used as a receiver too.
Wolverton takes the snap on 1st and 10, rolls to his left, stops, scans the field, fires a comeback route off the fingertips of his intended target. I believe that was Mestis, and incomplete on the first pass of the game.
And that was Gage Mestis, Wolverton's top receiver, only a sophomore, like Wolverton. So those two will have 2 more years together after this one.
Yeah, that is going to be a good connection for a long time for these Demons, as already 2 playoff appearances for Wolverton as the quarterback. And seems to have a bright future for sure, Grayson.
He does. And don't know if you remember, but that touchdown, the long touchdown pass last year was to Mestis.
All right, 2nd and 10 now from the 34. It's a pitch out to the right side, trying to turn the corner was a receiver on the jet sweep, run away from us. Not quite sure who that was. I think that was Alex Highs as he was thundered out of bounds after a pickup of about 6.
And it was Highs on the jet sweep. And that play, not something you'll see a lot from Durango. Highs with less than 10 carries on the year.
So big 3rd down here. They've already converted twice, once off a penalty and once naturally have the Demons. Ball spotted at their own 40. Got to get to the 44. Wolverton has trips wide to the left. Ball spotted on the far hash. Wolverton claps the hands. He'll run draw. Steps out of one tackle. Breaks another. Now goes up the sideline. Barrels across the 50 and another third down pickup. In fact, they'll mark him out right at the 50. So a 10-yard pickup on the draw for Wolverton and another fresh set of downs for the Demons.
And it was Noah Roper that knocked him out. Roper seemed to read the draw pretty well. But that's something you'll want to keep an eye on if you're the Erie defensive line. Twice now, the quarterback draw has picked up big yards for Durango.
Yeah, the draw working well against a very good front seven in this Erie Tiger defense. Now 1st and 10. Ball spotted near the far hash right at midfield. Wolverton checks the play at the line. Now takes the snap low, hands it off to Markham up the middle. He's met head on by Ian McDonald, the linebacker for the Tigers, and a pickup of 3 on first down for Dawson Markham. He's got 3 carries, 12 yards now in this contest.
And so far, we've seen Durango be reluctant a little bit to throw the ball against an Erie secondary that hasn't gotten as much experience being tested with the pass yet this year.
It is also pretty windy out here, as I don't know if that's going to be a factor in this passing game or not. 2nd and 7 now. Ball spotted at the Tiger 47. Play action. Wolverton, he's going to take it himself. Now gets tackled from behind by Spencer Brooks, but still picks up about 3 yards on the run. And that'll bring up 3rd and 3 here for the Demons.
And now it looks like Wolverton they're giving him the RPOs, run pass options, play action, letting him take off the ball.
Now 3rd and 3. Ball spot at the far hash. The Demons go right to left here. If you're listening in Durango on the radio, you can also watch this on YouTube at YouTube/Erie Tiger Network. 3rd and 3. Wolverton sends a man in motion across the field. That's McInnes, and now penalty flag flying. I think that's a delay of game. And did they get the timeout in time? No, they did not. So that's a costly penalty there for Durango, as they will back up 5 yards. And now a 3rd and 3 becomes a 3rd and 8.
And Durango moving the ball relatively well, but penalties holding them back on their first drive.
Tiger fans, players nervous down there on the sideline. 3rd and 8. Wolverton comes out in the shotgun. He's got 4 wide, 2 to each side of the field. Markham flanking to his left, and a timeout here by Coach Mickens and the Tiger defense. And we'll stick right here as we'll take a look kind of at what we had in terms of our keys to the game. And I don't believe our keys to the game are ready. So we're actually going to take a look at the bracket here. And as you see, Erie, the 3 seed, they're going to play. Obviously, they are playing Durango. If Erie wins, they would host next week against Green Mountain, who already played last night. They knocked off Thomas Jefferson 33-14. Pueblo East winners last night. Pueblo East winning last night and Green Mountain winning, that combination guarantees that if Erie were to win this, they host next week, and no matter what, will be on the road in the semifinals. Discovery Canyon and Frederick will play later. On the top half of the bracket, Palisade, they play Fort Morgan right now. Meade is hosting Evergreen, even though they're the 9 seed, they're a league champ. They host at 1 o'clock. Palmer Ridge, they will take on Pueblo South at home at Don Breese Stadium. And Harrison last night, they knocked off Holy Family 34-28. So that's how the bracket looks right now. So here we go, 3rd and 8 out of the timeout here from Erie. 3 wideouts this time and a tight end. They'll motion one in. Wolverton, play action. They're setting up a screen. It's caught by Markham. He'll take it straight up the field. He's got a first down and more across the 30. Tackled from behind inside the 25 all the way down to the 22. And a good pickup there of 17 yards on the pass play. And the Tigers have been pretty good at defending the screen pass, but Markham, that was set up well, and he was off to the races.
It was set up well. They used Erie's aggressiveness against him a little bit. A good pass rush, and Wolverton just flipped it over the top of the Erie defensive line to get a first down for Markham.
So 1st and 10 here. Ball spot at the Erie 21. Good drive here for Durango, moving the ball down the field. Tigers defense has not made a big play yet. Durango has made them all. Wolverton will send a man in motion. That's McInnes, and another delay of game penalty. So that is the 4th penalty on this drive for Durango. It hasn't hurt them.
No, it hasn't, but that is something to keep an eye on later in the game. As it winds down, the players get tired. 4 pre-snap penalties on the first drive. Eventually, that should start swinging back in Erie's favor.
All right, so now 1st and 15. Ball backed up to the Erie 26. Ball out near the far hash again. And again, this time it's Mestis in motion, now trips to the left side. Wolverton fires, throws, intercepted by Caleb Furman. He's going back the other way, the 20, up the sideline, couple blockers, and finally gets ridden down out of bounds at the 29. And they tried to throw back shoulder, and Caleb Furman underneath just cut it off.
He did just cut it off. Furman read the play perfectly, played the receiver perfectly, and maybe a little bit of a bad decision from Wolverton as the receiver slipped, and easy pickings for Furman.
So a big play there for the Tigers defensively, and now they have the ball again. 1st and 10 at their own 30. 4:56 remaining here in quarter number 1. As Erie offense now taking the field, led by Gavin Mendoza. And one of the conversations, will Mendoza play quarterback? Will Dion Lucero play quarterback? Right now it's Mendoza. 2 men shift across the formation now to the wide side of the field. Handoff to Roper to that side. Gets hit behind the line but spins out of it. Dragging forward, chops his feet, leaning backward, and gets 2 yards. And Noah Roper, 4 carries, 72 yards, averaging 18 because of the one big run. Averages over 10 yards a carry this season.
And that's 3 yards per carry more than last year. Roper has really gotten more efficient, less carries this year than last year, but still almost the same amount of yardage coming into the game, only 20 yards less than last year's in the regular season.
2nd and 8 for the Tigers. Mendoza in the pistol. Roper behind him. His toes are right on the 25. Handoff to Roper, right side, tries to burst through a hole, gets to the second level, lowers the shoulder, bounces off one defender, churning the legs across the 40, and finally brought down, and they'll give him forward progress out to the 45. So a 13-yard run there for Noah Roper on 2nd down, and a fresh set of downs for the Tigers.
And a good carry there by Roper, just running over, breaking a lot of tackles, typical Noah Roper.
So 1st and 10. Now for the Tigers at their own 45. Ball spotted now to the near hash. Mendoza in the pistol. There are 10 white jerseys in the defensive box right now for the Demons. It's play action. Mendoza's going to launch one deep, looking for Kana, and overthrows him. Kana was running a post. I think Mendoza was expecting him to kind of level off the route and overthrew him by about 5 yards.
And he did have Kana in single coverage. I think Erie, the coach, is recognizing Durango's putting 10 players in the box, wanting to force them to drop a safety back out of the box to give Roper a little bit more room to run.
So now Mendoza in the pistol, 2nd and 10. Roper behind him. They're going to pitch it to Roper on the wide side, stretches it out, turns it upfield across the 50, jumps over a defender, and will pick up 7, maybe 8 yards on the pitch to the left. And a good 2nd down pickup will make it 3rd and manageable here for Erie.
And a pitch, not something we see often, but it worked there. Got 8 yards. Roper using his speed to get outside of the edge and cut up field before knocked out of bounds by one of the defensive backs.
So 3rd and 2 here. And this time Roper in the Wildcat with Ian Vera in the backfield. Roper is going to call for the snap. He's going to follow Vera, leans his head down, has plenty of yardage, needed about 2.5, picked up close to 4. And so Roper already 97 yards rushing here with 2:51 left in the first quarter.
And Erie, no secrets about their game plan, just running Noah Roper, saying, Durango, we know your defense has better pass coverage than it does run coverage, and we're just going to run our big, strong offensive line right up the middle, dare them to stop us.
8 snaps for Erie, 7 carries for Noah Roper, and then a play action from Roper on a pass. They'll keep it himself. That's Mendoza around the left side, across the 40, toward the first down marker, and stumbles out of bounds, picks up 12 on the play for the first carry for the quarterback, Gavin Mendoza. And the Tigers cruising now down to the Durango 33-yard line.
And good carry for Mendoza. If you see Erie switch it up, that's how. Durango, a little late reacting to that QB keeper. Good read by Mendoza to get outside on the edge and get the first down.
1st and 10 for the Tigers at the Durango 33. And this time it's Roper alone in the backfield. No running back. Trips to the right. He's got an H-back and a wide out to the left. Now he'll send Gardner in motion. 2 Tigers in motion. They're going to have to get set and restart the play. And actually, Coach Cooper's going to have to call a timeout because of a miscommunication. We will also take a timeout. There is 2:26 left to go in the first quarter. No score here on the Erie Tiger Network. And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. As you see the Tigers down there trying to figure out what to do. Pretty soon here at the end of the first quarter, between quarters, we'll go down to our sideline reporter, Nick Caccaro. He's down there kind of gauging the temperature of the game. But good game so far. Turnovers by both teams. Good offense by both teams despite those turnovers.
And both teams have had good offense. Both teams drove into the other team's territory, kind of got deep, both within the red zone before turning the ball over.
All right, 1st and 10 here for the Tigers. Mendoza in the pistol. He'll take it, hand it off to Roper. Right side, bounces off his own lineman. Now steps out of a arm tackle, still on his feet, and finally the cavalry arrives. That's going to be a loss of about 2 or 3. And the defensive coordinator for Durango is being yelled at by the far sideline official. He was jumping up and down, celebrating that.
Yeah, and I think he was getting yelled at because he was almost out to the numbers.
He was pumped up for sure. Now 2nd and 13 for Erie after the loss of 3. That might have been one of those where Noah, he can hit the home run any play, almost trying to make too much out of something that wasn't there. Now Mendoza will send Lucero in motion. He gets it on the jet sweep following Noah Roper around the left side. Breaks a tackle, stays on his feet across the 30 and gets spilled out down to the 26-yard line. And a pickup there of 10 yards for Dion Lucero. A little wrinkle there from the Tigers.
And that's the first time that we've seen Dion Lucero used as not a quarterback but as a receiver, coming in motion for the jet sweep.
Using Noah as a lead blocker. So 3rd and a long 3 here for the Tigers. We'll call it 3rd and 4 after a 9-yard run there by Dion. Ball spot the far hash. Hand off to Roper. Up the middle. Has the first down and just puts his head down. Bowls over a linebacker. And inside the 20 down to the 19. A pickup there of 7.
And just a good hard run there from Roper.
Tigers going quick. Snap again. Handoff Roper up the middle. And a timeout, I think, just called by Durango. just before the snap, and they knew they weren't ready, so they called a quick timeout. While we have a moment, Tiger fans, we'd love for you to be a partner of the Erie Tiger Network on Patreon. Click on the link in the description of this YouTube video or head to patreon.com/Erie Tiger Network. You can support us for as little as $1 a month or sponsor a segment for $25 a month. And we've also had a lot of playoff sponsors step up and help us get these broadcasting rights. $500 a game to broadcast on basically any television stream. So a huge shout out to Cooper Electric, Waterworks Irrigation Landscape, Miners, Showcase Builders, Michelle Mendoza, Richard Lovato, Cheryl Knutson, the Raridan family, Jeremy Quinn, David Arlington and the Arlington family, Trina Green, the Roper family, Jonathan Nelms, and Miss Singh, our librarian, also chipping in here to help us with the rights. So thank you to all of our fans helping us get these playoff rights. So 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Ball spotted at the 20. And they'll hand off. No, it'll be a keeper. It's Mendoza around the left side on the read option, and he picks up 5-6 yards on another good run there by Mendoza. And the Tigers doing pretty well here offensively. 10 yards a carry on the ground. 11 yards a carry by Noah Roper. Tigers 127 total yards in this quarter. 25 seconds left in the quarter. Hand off to Roper. Up the middle. Stutters. Spins. Jumps over a player. Noah Roper dragging a player all the way down to the 5. There is a flag. That was a dazzling 10-yard run. That might be wiped out here, though. Holy cow.
It might. He hurdled a Durango defender, and we'll see what the flag is.
Yeah, he spun out of a tackle, and then after the spin, he immediately jumped over a defender and then was dragging a player for 2 or 3 yards who was holding onto his ankle. And there's no flag, so a good 10-yard run there by Roper. What a heck of a run there. So 1st and goal for the Tigers. Ball spotted at the 5. Tigers knocking on the door. 16 seconds left here in the quarter. Ball spotted toward the far hash. Now Mendoza takes the snap. Handoff, Roper right side, lowers the shoulders, leans towards the end zone, and he is down at the 1. And that will be the last play of the quarter. At the end of 1, no score. You're watching the Erie Tiger Network.
That takes us to the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, I'm married. Doesn't matter. You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I'd like that.
Who are you talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm. Sounds like a really good deal.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning? Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis.
She sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy, so.
Another reason more people stay with State Farm. Get to a better state.
Open up a browser and look up youtube.com/Erie Tiger Network. To subscribe, sign into YouTube and press the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to receive notifications about ETN posts. To like the video, click the thumbs up button on the right hand side of the screen. Use the bar on the bottom of the screen to move and skip parts in the video. To skip forward or backwards, use the arrow keys to move 5 seconds. You can pause the video at any time by pressing the spacebar or clicking with the mouse.
And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. Start of the second quarter. 2nd and goal from the 1. Roper takes a snap, goes left side, walks into the end zone, and Erie leads it by a touchdown here at home. And the first score of the game is the first play of the second quarter.
And just an easy run for Roper. Had the blockers, walked into the end zone.
Yeah, just went over that left side and was able to just roll in. And so now Castine set to kick the extra point here, put the Tigers up by 7. The snap is good, the hold is good, the kick is off the upright and no good. He pinged it off the left upright, and so the Tigers only get 6. Well, Go Airheads Airsoft Field and Store in Erie gives children, teens, and adults an exhilarating, unforgettable experience in a unique battle zone. Play against your friends and friends to be. For more info, be sure to check them out online at goairheads.com. And friends, be sure to check out the Erie Tiger Times. In fact, my cohort here, Grayson Blaylock, has a story up right now on Noah Roper. You are going to want to check that out. Just go to erietigertimes.com and you can find that there. At halftime, we'll talk about a little bit of the record chase that Noah had going into the day. Coming close on a lot of records. In fact, he's already passed some people here today in the state record books. And that'll be our Miners halftime. So our Miners halftime show. So be sure to tune in for that. Now the Tigers almost all set to kick off here. And the ball blown off the tee here. As we said, pretty strong wind, kind of going left to right across the field. Tigers basically kicking into the wind. And so now they'll reset up here. And this one's sent deep, end over end, high, and even though it's into the wind, that's out of the back of the end zone. So Julian misses the extra point.
Into the end zone will be a touchback. The Demons will start from the 20-yard line.
So 1st and 10 for Durango. We'll start it on the 20. Wolverton, the quarterback here.
And we'll see how Durango responds to the Erie scoring drive after turning the ball over on their last possession.
Now Wolverton in the shotgun. Takes a snap, hands off to Markham. Left side, steps through one tackle, still on his feet, but kind of running sideways. He'll end up picking up a yard, maybe 2, on the handoff sweep from the shotgun to the left side. And for Markham, that's his 4th carry of the game. He's got 14.
And Markham getting a little bit of work here early in this one.
2nd and 8, ball spotted near the far hash. 11:26 remaining here in the first half. Trips to the right. Wolverton in the shotgun. Markham flanks him to his right. Wolverton taking his time, claps the hands, play action, looking, and he is pressured, steps out of it, and the Tigers will bury him at a late flag. Not sure if that's going to be a hold or a face mask on Erie, but that was Nate Hackney that got into the backfield and sacked Wolverton for a loss of about 10.
And that's the first time that the coverage has, or the protection, excuse me, has really broken down for Wolverton. Had nowhere to go, but it is a defensive face mask.
So Erie, another big play wiped away by a penalty. And
It'll be 2nd and 13 for the Demons.
And I guess it was only a 5-yard variety. 2nd and 13, and now the officials are going to stop it. We can actually hear a little bit from the Durango press box. They are not happy. I'm confused. They called a face mask there. And the spot of the foul where they threw it was where the ball is spotted right now. The sack happened about 7 or 8 yards back where the ball is. And now the far sideline official talking with the Durango coach here, trying to explain what's going on. And it will still be 2nd and 13. So Wolverton in the shotgun. Play action, looking left. Now he's being flushed. Bradford chasing him, steps up in the pocket, steps out of a tackle, still on his feet. Wolverton still behind the line of scrimmage and finally brought down from behind as Bradford chased him for about 30 or 40 yards there and finally got him, but Wolverton able to still escape and get about a yard on the play.
And good effort by Bradford after Wolverton cut back, took a good route to the ball and was able to limit the gain after Wolverton slipped away from the rest of Erie's defensive linemen.
So 3rd and 11. Tigers looking on anxiously. Wolverton will come out. Music bumping here for the Tigers here in Tiger Stadium. Wolverton takes a snap. Looks downfield, fires a screen pass, read well by Bradford. Markham was still able to escape and pick up 6 yards on the screen pass, but that'll bring up 4th and 5.
And a much better job there reading the screen by the Erie linebackers. They were waiting for it and able to hold Durango to only 6 yards.
I think even Bradfield might have come away there with a fistful of jersey. He was trying to pull down Markham from behind. So 4th down, Noah Roper back to receive the punt here. As this one is with the wind. High snap, rugby style punt, spiraling, bounces down inside 38, and what a great bounce and a roll. It bounced at the 38 all the way down to the 14 is where it finally stops. And a heck of a bounce and a break there for Durango.
It was a good bounce, just hit it end over end and rolled all the way about 20 yards more from where it originally hit into the opposite red zone. And now Erie will take the ball. They'll have a long drive ahead of them, 86-yard drive for a score. 8:58 remaining in the quarter. Erie a 6-0 lead. And now something to keep an eye on. Dion Lucero coming out as a receiver.
Well, it's 1st and 10 now here for the Tigers. And it is, we'll go down to our sideline reporter Nick here in just a moment. It's Roper. He'll run read option with Lucero, fakes it to him, runs over the left side and stumbles, but still picks up 6 yards there on the 1st down carry on the keeper by Noah Roper. Noah now 13 carries, 121 yards, and he is moving up in the record books here. He's got now over 6,077 yards on the season, closing in, or on his career, closing in on 2,000 yards for the season. Mendoza takes a snap, hands off to Roper, big hole on the left side. Roper bursts through it, makes one man miss into the secondary, still churning the legs and finally ridden down at the 40. A pickup there of 19 yards for Noah Roper.
And good run there for Roper. Had to hold the left side offensive line, doing a great job opening up the holes. And Erie keeping less men on the line, spreading out receivers to force Durango to keep people out of the box if they were to throw. And that's giving Roper a lot of room to run.
So 1st and 10 here for the Tigers. Mendoza takes a snap. He'll keep it himself right side, steps through a tackle. He was dead to rights and somehow got out of it. Still breaking tackles. He's got 10 yards and a 1st down. Gavin Mendoza, just like a slalom skier, going through the pylons, avoiding white jerseys, and somehow found a way to pick up 10 yards and a 1st down for Erie.
Great run by Mendoza there. Looking like Noah Roper bouncing off tackles.
So 1st and 10 for the Tigers. This time it's Mendoza again in the pistol. Mendoza looks to the sideline, sends Lucero in motion. They're going to fake it, hand it off to Roper. Right side hesitates at the line and finally tucked down from behind after a pickup there of 2. We're now going to head down to the sidelines with our own Nick Acaro. He's going to tell us what's going on down there. Nick? And I'm not sure that Nick is able to hear us, so we'll go back to him later. Maybe here between drives. Hand off to Roper, left side, big hole here on 2nd and 8. Shoves one man aside, and Roper getting hit up high a lot, and he's just kind of throwing guys aside and ducking under things, and a pickup there of 15 for Roper. And Roper now 155 yards. And for Noah Roper, he has now rushed for 2,000 yards this season.
Noah Roper just crossing the 2,000-yard mark for this season.
So 1st and 10. Mendoza takes the snap, hands off to Roper, hesitates at the line, just sneaks through a hole, got skinny there, as they like to say, and ends up picking 7 yards on the carry.
Yeah, Roper just went straight up the middle there, barreled through the line, slipped between 2 linebackers before being pulled down.
So 2nd and 4 after the 6-yard pickup. Noah Roper 2,007 yards on the season. That's just incredible. Durango defense been out there a while. They have gotten some decent penetration. They just haven't been able to wrap up and make tackles. This Durango team banged up, missing a lot of their key players. Hand off to Gardner, who's now in the backfield, and he goes straight into the line, picks up a yard on his first carry of the play. Tyler Gardner, 282 yards now rushing on the season. As Noah Roper spelled for a play, he'll check right back in. 3rd down and 3 here for Erie.
And this is probably 4-down territory for the Tigers. Maybe in Julian's field goal range, but Erie, when they've been in this area this year, they've liked to go for it on 4th down, especially a 4th and short.
5:15 remaining in the half. Handoff Roper right side. He tucks the head, has the 1st down to the 20, a pickup of 5. And the Tigers continue to move the ball down the field as the clock continues to tick here in half number 1. Don't forget to join us for the Miners halftime show. Here after a break, we'll have some halftime stats and some highlights for you as well. So 1st and 10 here for the Tigers.
Erie taking their time before the snap.
Yep. It'll be Roper and the Wildcat with Vera flanking him to his left. Roper takes a snap, hands off to Vera, right side, and stepped through a tackle, and a pretty good pickup there. And Tigers, you know, the strong side of their line is that right side of the line. They've been using it today. Spencer Brooks, Nate Hackney, Colby Arlington, all guys that have colleges sniffing around, and it's fun to see the right side of that line used.
It is fun to see them being used often. Roper, I know, likes running behind them, likes having those big holes to run through, likes not getting touched until he's at the 2nd level.
Now Roper again out of the Wildcat. Vera again flanking him. Roper this time will follow him on the left. Bounces off a tackler, then gets pelted down. A nice hard hit coming in to make the play for Durango that time, I believe, was Mestis, but another good pickup there for the Tigers from the 15 all the way down to the 9, and a 6-yard pickup for Noah Roper. Tigers trying to go quick here, and now they'll slow it down. They look like they're about to get set. Now Roper looks into the sideline. 1st and goal from the 9. 3:40 remaining here in the first half. Tigers have chewed, it seems like, through most of this quarter. It was the first play of the quarter that they scored, and now they have engineered a long drive. Roper claps the hands, sends McDonald in motion. Takes the snap, hands it off to Vera. Left side, Vera through a hole, and Vera pounds his way down to the 2. A 7-yard pickup there.
And good hard-nosed running from Vera there. Maybe a little bit of a preview of what we're going to see next year without some of these players there. And when they're running to the left side, something to note, David Grossi is back.
David Grossi, the left guard here. In for the Tigers. Aiden Meeks, the starting left tackle for the Tigers. This line has been solid so far today. 2:15 counting. Tigers kind of taking their time here as the clock slowly melting away here in the quarter. Roper again in the Wildcat. Fakes it, takes it himself, hops through a defender's arms into the end zone for another Tiger touchdown. And Roper has 2 touchdowns here today. He's got 34 on the season. And with 2:35 left, the Tigers are on top by 2 scores. And it looks like they're going to send Julian out here to kick an extra point.
And a good run by Roper there, good blocking. And walked into the end zone.
Tiger fans happy as Julian's setting up here. Missed the last one by clanking it off the upright. Snap and hold are good. The kick is low and good. A bullet, but through the uprights. It's a 13-0 lead for Erie. We'll take a quick timeout here on the Erie Tiger Network. A plan in place for your family's future in the event something happens to you. Are you caring for aging parents, grandparents, or a loved one with special needs? The Germany law firm named 2017 Erie's Chamber Business of the Year provides expert legal guidance and peace of mind for you and your family in the areas of probate, elder law, and estate planning. Visit Germany Law Firms. See if you can get his mic going. And welcome back in Erie Tiger Network as the kickoff sails into the end zone and a late flag coming from the near side. I have no idea. And a referee ran straight to a Durango player to kind of give him the business a little bit. I have no idea what that was all about. That's going to be a personal foul, I think, on Colby Bazzi. A 6'3" junior.
And that will back up Durango. At least. It looks like it will back up Durango. And you might have just been able to hear that score of the PA system, but Frederick traveling down to Discovery Canyon and leading 21-7 at halftime.
And that would be quite the upset. 1st and 10 here for Durango as they start a drive here with 2:35 left. Let's see if they put it in the air a little bit more here. Wolverton will now motion a man, trips right. They'll hand it off to Markham, left side, and he is stonewalled after a gain of 1. Nate Hackney kind of set the edge there, then reached out and just grabbed Markham and slung him to the turf. And so far for Markham, 5 carries, only 15 yards as the Durango running game has kind of had some trouble getting going here.
It has. Erie's defensive front, their front 7, doing a great job recognizing the runs when it happens and being quick to get to the ball and to limit the gain.
49 yards rushing for Durango. There goes a quick pass on a comeback route on the left side on 2nd down and slung out of bounds, and the receiver that time I believe was Alex Hayes. Pickup there of about 6 yards on the 2nd down pass. So 3rd and 3. You're Durango with 1:58 left here in the quarter. You have got to find a way to convert here.
And if I was Durango, I would go back to their quarterback draw. It's worked a couple times before. I also might think about going to a screen pass.
So 3rd and 3. Wolverton in the shotgun. He's going to run play action, keep it himself actually, around the left side, bowls over the top of Vera, and has the first down out to the 34. Pickup there of 7 for Wolverton, and Wolverton now over 35 yards on the ground. About 4.6 yards rushing here in this one for Durango. Fans, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. 1st and 10. Wolverton takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looks, has a man underneath, but being flushed from the pocket. Flag coming in away from the field as he throws it out of bounds. And I think we might see a hold as Spencer Brooks down there in the field for the Tigers, signaling that it will be against Durango.
And while we have a moment, some more scores. Palisade leading Fort Morgan 24-0 at halftime. Fort Morgan traveling out to Palisade. Palmer Ridge and Pueblo South are tied at 7. So that's one to keep an eye on.
Yeah, in Pueblo South, we saw Erie go down to Pueblo and really dismantle them. But Pueblo South, since then, it seems like they've been getting better and better and really peaking at the right time.
Does seem like that for sure. This game is similar. They have played before, and the first game was tied at halftime at 14. Palmer Ridge went on to win that one between Palmer Ridge and Pueblo South, 45-14. So we'll see how Pueblo South does in the second half, but a big game to keep an eye on.
1st and 20 now for Durango. Takes the snap as Wolverton. Actually handed off to Hiss, and Heiss, I beg your pardon. Heiss will take it up to the 29 on a gain of 5 for Alex Heiss. So thank you to the YouTube commenter that helped us with that pronunciation. And thanks for joining us, all our friends out in Durango who were very gracious hosts last year when Erie went out there in a very exciting game. 2nd and 15 now. Wolverton in the shotgun, trying to go quickly. 45 seconds left. They'll pitch out far side. Markham has it around the left side. Cuts it upfield. Still on his feet, but kind of going east and west there a little bit as he's finally corralled out of bounds. A pickup of close to 8 yards on the play. In fact, they'll give him 9 yards on the carry, and now it's 3rd and about 7 as the clock stopped when he went out of bounds.
And that's Markham's longest carry of the game, and that's actually also one of our keys to the game, is to not let Markham get to the outside. Markham, when he does get to the outside, he's got speed, can make the defensive backs pay.
3rd and 6 for Durango, 36 seconds left. Wolverton in the shotgun. He's going to pitch out. They're going to throw it back to Wolverton, who is wide open, catches it, cuts upfield across the 50, and finally wrestled to the turf by Roper. A little trickery there on a pickup of about 14.
And that's Wolverton's 2nd catch of the year. His first one was a 30-yarder for a touchdown, but Durango.
And a quick spike there stops the clock with 21 seconds left.
And Durango there using the misdirection, the pitch out to their advantage to get a first down.
So 2nd and 10, Durango trying to score here before the half. And Durango, they have maybe struggled a little bit on 1st and 2nd down, but they've been pretty good here this game on 3rd down. Got the big 3rd down conversion there. And it seems like every time the Tigers are close to getting off the field, Durango's able to convert and keep the Tigers on as there's a timeout now on the field.
And it does seem that way.
And no, there's not a timeout. Thought there was. The referees are conferencing. So, well, now they're signaling a timeout by Durango. And they will award it. So while we have a moment, we are going to go down to Nick Caccaro, our sideline reporter who has been anxiously awaiting. And Nick, an exciting first half. What's the atmosphere like down there on the field? can't quite hear you there. Can you? Looks like our field signal is just a little too degraded, so we will see if we can't get that working here in the second half. As, well, 2nd and 10 now here for the Demons. Out of the timeout. So sorry about that. We'll try to get Nick Caccaro, our sideline reporter, down there. We'll see if we can't correct that here during halftime. But back to the action. 21 seconds left. Durango has the ball at the Erie 47. Wolverton takes a snap, rolls to his right, looking downfield, has a man emerging, but being pressured, steps up in the pocket. He's across the line of scrimmage, now being chased. He's got 10 yards, first down yardage, and finally run out of bounds at the 33-yard line. And a pickup there of about 16 yards or so for Wolverton.
33-yard line.
Actually give him about 13, and a good run there, but a lot of time dripping off the clock. 10 seconds off the clock. If you remember back to last year, before halftime, Erie had the ball, was driving. They ran a hook and ladder. It was successful, except after the player was running down the sideline, the ball got lodged free, and on the last play of the half, it was a strip 6 for a touchdown of about 85 yards or more for Durango.
Kind of doubt that Durango will go to that hook and ladder.
No, I don't think so. Wolverton looking to his right. He's being pressured again. Throws it. It's intercepted by Bradford, the D lineman, with 4 seconds left. Wolverton, I think, was trying to throw it away, and Bradford shedded his blocker and picked it off for the second interception of the game.
And a great play by Bradford. The second interception, like you said, and had one arm on the man that was blocking him, got his other arm free, jumped out, caught the ball. What a play.
And speaking of plays with not much time left, I don't think Erie especially is going to go back to the hook and ladder. Only 4 seconds left. You think they're going to go for it, or you think they're going to think about last year? That really let Durango back into the game, and it does look like they're going to get into victory formation. They learned their lesson from last year.
Yes, they have.
So they've got, it looks like a power I, and Mendoza's just going to sit on it, and time will run out. So at the end of one half of play, it's Erie 13, Durango nothing. We're going to take a timeout, step aside here on the Erie Tiger Network. Do you have a plan in place for your family's future in the event something happens to you? Are you caring for aging parents, grandparents, or a loved one with special needs? The Germany law firm named 2017 Erie's Chamber Business of the Year provides expert legal guidance and peace of mind for you and your family in the areas of probate, elder law, and estate planning. Visit Germany Law Firm's Erie Village office or website at coelderlaw.net to set up a personalized consultation.
You are watching the ETN.
The Erie Tiger Network, the student media arm of Erie High School. Well, now you can. We have set up a Patreon page. There's a way for you to send us a monthly pledge in order to provide funding for the program, as well as get access to reward tiers. As a Tiger fan, you get the satisfaction of knowing you are helping out your favorite local media organization. As a member of the ETN fan club, you are officially recognized on air and can receive ETN goodies throughout the year. As an in-broadcast red sponsor, you get to sponsor a specific segment of any broadcast. For more information, email bird_brandon at sbbsd.org. This is a $25 per month commitment. As an appreciator of Erie's live broadcast with the weekly news, you can help support this program by becoming one of our patrons by going to bit.ly/ETN Patreon.
Gavin Mendoza.
I'm Jamie Nome.
I'm Noah Roper.
I'm Spencer Brooks, and thanks for watching Tiger Football on the Erie Tiger Network.
Thanks for watching Tiger Football on the Erie Tiger Network.
Thanks for watching Tiger Football on the Erie Tiger Network.
And thank you for watching Tiger Football on the Erie Tiger Network.
I'm Miss Addington. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching Erie.
Range Landfill puts all your needs in front of everything else. Front Range Landfill won Erie Chamber of Commerce Business of the Year Award, as well as being featured on national television. We are very proud of our facility and we welcome the opportunity to address your disposal needs. Our focus is on customer service. We strive to achieve easy and rapid access in and out of the facility. We feel certain that we will exceed your expectations of your solid waste disposal requirements. Choose Front Range Landfill for all your landfill needs. You will be pleased.
There's a beast deep inside you. It will not die.
Ooh.
It will fight back.
Do you want a better smile, have a broken bracket, or are you a teenager in need of some braces? Then make your way down to Caraway Orthodontics. They are located in Louisville and Erie. Caraway Orthodontics supports Erie High School and its community. Come in and gain a beautiful smile for children, teens, and adults. They also provide Invisalign. Call this number 303-828-0454 or go to carawayortho.com.
Click the search bar on the top right-hand corner of the screen and search up Erie Tiger Network. Click the channel icon and then press the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to receive notifications about when we post. Click the thumbs up icon to like the video. To enter full screen mode, press the icon on the bottom right-hand corner. To skip forward or backwards 10 seconds, double tap the left or right hand side of the screen. Press the pause button in the middle of the screen to pause the video. To skip to a different video, press the skip button when the video is paused.
Yeah, I'm married. Doesn't matter. You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I'd like that.
Who are you talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm. Sounds like a really good deal.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning? Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis.
She sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy, so.
Another reason more people stay with State Farm. Get to a better state.
Open up a browser and look up youtube.com/Erie Tiger Network. To subscribe, sign into YouTube and press the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to receive notifications about ETN posts.
And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network, and welcome in to the Miners Halftime Show. Miners, the new sponsor of the Halftime Show. If you're looking for the best place for the post-game, look no further than Miners on Briggs Street. We will have highlights probably after a timeout here, but we want to go over some halftime stats, kind of break down the first half for you. For Durango, 43 yards passing, 29 by Jordan Wolverton, and we didn't catch who had the throwback. We'll try and track that down for you. That might have been Heiss, so we'll double check that. 70 yards rushing for the Demons, 24 by Dawson Markham on 7 carries, 35 by Jordan Wolverton on 7. Sorry, Markham had 6. Wolverton was 7. Everett Howland with 6, and Alex Heiss with 5. Heiss had 1 catch for 6 yards, Markham 2 catches for 23 yards, and then Wolverton a catch for 14 yards as well. 113 total yards in that first half for Durango. 2 turnovers, both interceptions by Wolverton, who in that first half was 3 of 6 with 2 picks. For the Tigers, only 1 pass attempted. That was incomplete by Gavin Mendoza. Tigers, though, they've been dominating on the ground. 224 yards rushing as a team. 174 for Noah Roper on 19 carries. 1 for Gardner. Mendoza, he had 28. Vera with 12. And Lucero chipped in with 9. And obviously no yards passing, so 224 total yards for the Tigers on the ground. On the season, Noah Roper, 2,020 yards rushing, now 34 touchdowns. He's got 6,030 yards rushing in his career. And if you look at the record chase and what's going on coming into today, Noah Roper, 90 career touchdowns. He just passed Miles Smith from Cheyenne Wells and Kane Farmer from Kit Carson, and now tied with Taylor Walters of Paonia from 2015 with 92 touchdowns. So tied for 10th place in his career for rushing touchdowns. You keep looking at some of the other records that Noah Roper has been able to compile here, and see if we can't get our stat software to comply with us. As well, maybe we won't have those stats for. Oh, here we go. Noah Roper, career all-purpose yards. He moved into 3rd place all alone. We say that with a little bit of a caveat. They don't have Ryan Muller's all-purpose yards, so we think Roper's either 4th or 3rd on that list. Jade Franklin at 2nd from Kent Denver. He's got over 8,500. That'd be 1,000 yards. Not sure Noah can, well, that'd be close. About 250 yards a game. If the Tigers were to run all the way to the state championship, he could get close to that 2 spot. Hey, you never know. But Noah Roper continuing to rack up the all-purpose yards as well. We already mentioned the career touchdowns for Noah Roper, 92. And I should have one more here for you. And career rushing yards. We are trying to get that. There we go. The career rushing yards, Noah Roper coming into this needed 123 yards to go into 15th place alone all time, passing Derek Jackson of Pueblo West. And Noah Roper already passed that. In fact, now he's at 61:30. So he passed Darnell McDonald of Cherry Creek. So Noah Roper now 14th all-time in career rushing yards in the state of Colorado. Well, these halftime stats, once again, part of our halftime show, brought to you by Miners. Be sure to check them out for all your post-game needs here today. Talked about some scores. We're going to take another time out here on the Erie Tiger Network. When we come back, we will hopefully have some halftime highlights here for you as well. Do you have a plan in place for your family's future in the event something happens to you? Are you caring for aging parents, grandparents, or a loved one with special needs? The Germany law firm named 2017 Erie's Chamber Business of the Year provides expert legal guidance and peace of mind for you and your family in the areas of probate, elder law, and estate planning. Visit Germany Law Firm's Erie Village office or website at coelderlaw.net to set up a personalized consultation.
You are watching the ETN.
wanted to support the Erie Tiger Network, the student media arm of Erie High School? Well, now you can. We have set up a Patreon page. There's a way for you to send us a monthly pledge in order to provide funding for the program, as well as get access to reward tiers. As a Tiger fan, you get the satisfaction of knowing you are helping out your favorite local media organization. As a member of the ETN fan club, you are officially recognized on air and can receive ETN goodies throughout the year. As an in-broadcast red sponsor, you get to sponsor a specific segment of any broadcast. For more information, email bird_brandon at sbbsd.org. This is a $25 per month commitment. As an appreciator of Erie's live broadcast with the weekly news, you can help support this program by becoming one of our patrons by going to bit.ly/ETNPatreon.
I'm Gavin Mendoza.
I'm Jamie Noam.
I'm Noah Roper.
I'm Spencer Brooks, and thanks for watching Tiger Football on the Erie Tiger Network.
Thanks for watching Tiger Football on the Erie Tiger Network.
Thanks for watching Tiger Football on the Erie Tiger Network.
And thank you for watching Tiger Football on the Erie Tiger Network.
I'm Miss Addington. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching.
Front Range Landfill puts all your needs in front of everything else. Front Range Landfill won Erie Chamber of Commerce Business of the Year Award, as well as being featured on national television. We are very proud of our facility and we welcome the opportunity to address your disposal needs. Our focus is on customer service. We strive to achieve easy and rapid access in and out of the facility. We feel certain that we will exceed your expectations of your solid waste disposal requirements. Choose Front Range Landfill for all your landfill needs. You will be pleased.
And welcome back in here to the Miners Halftime Show. Brandon Bird, Grayson Blaylock here with you. Fans, don't forget to follow us on Twitter and tweet at us. We could even put your tweets on air at Erie TigerNet, so be sure to do that. Well, good first half of play, Grayson. Tigers, they obviously fumble kind of deep, but that doesn't cost them. They end up getting 2 turnovers back the other way themselves. Durango will receive in the second half, and really for them, they've got to find a way to score.
They do, and maybe if they're going away from the wind or with the wind, it might be time to start trying to get their passing game going. They haven't tried it a lot. When they have tried it, it hasn't worked out. 2 interceptions for Wolverton. But maybe open up the field, spread out the field so that they can get Markham going if you're Durango.
And there, unfortunately, we will not have any halftime highlights. That just didn't work for us on our highlight editor that usually works. We were trying to run 3 cameras here today, really soup up the broadcast. It's difficult. Everything is wireless, and with this many people in the stadium, especially on the Erie side, a little bit of trouble sending that signal up wirelessly to the box. So trying to do the best we can, but thank you so much for tuning in. Fans, once again, don't forget to like this video that you're watching and subscribe to our YouTube channel here on the Erie Tiger Network. As far as Erie continues to go in the playoffs, we will continue to try our best to obtain the broadcast rights and do broadcast games. The best way you can help us out is by being a partner of the Erie Tiger Network on Patreon. Click on the link in the description at patreon.com/Erie Tiger Network. You can support us for as little as $1 a month or sponsor a segment for $25 a month. And if you go to erietiger.network.com right now, you'll see a little support icon. There's also some other ways. If you're a business and you want to sponsor, you can do that as well. And speaking of business sponsors, for Tiger fans looking to buy or sell a home, Jim Elliston is the perfect fit for you. She prides herself in helping every family find a house that perfectly fits their needs, turning every house into a home. Jim's been helping people buy and sell real estate in the Denver metro area and the surrounding area since 2013. Whether you're looking to buy a new home, sell your current, or buy an investment property, Jen Elliston Realty can help meet your goals. Visit her online at JenEllistonRealty.com. The Tigers back on the field. Durango's not quite out here yet. Tigers got to feel pretty good about the way things are going. I know Durango, you got the 7-hour bus ride out here to Erie. You're a little bit short-handed, banged up, some key players missing who got injured in last week's contest. But overall, still a solid football team. I think regardless of what happens today, you look at this Durango squad, they're going to be formidable for the next couple of years.
They will be good. Like we mentioned earlier, Wolverton, only a sophomore. Mestis is top target, only a sophomore. That connection could be lethal in 2 years when they're both seniors. A lot of 3A's top talent is graduating this year. So Durango, a lot of promise.
Yep, a lot of promise on this team, and certainly still enough time left here to make this one a game. Grayson, I believe you have some scores for us from around the playoff bracket.
I do have some scores for you. From last night, we have Green Mountain, the 6th seed, over 11 seed Thomas Jefferson. So Erie will host, or the winner will host of this game, no matter who it is, will host Green Mountain next week. Pueblo East, the 2 seed, beating Lewis Palmer 35-21. And Harrison, with their first ever playoff win over Holy Family, that was 34-28. All those are finals from last night. Today we have 5 games going. Don't have a score in from the 5th game at the moment. We're trying to get that to load. Erie obviously up 13-0 over Durango. Frederick 21, Discovery Canyon 7. Palisade 24, Fort Morgan nothing. Palmer Ridge 14, Pueblo South 7. All those games at halftime. And Evergreen and Meade. Meade is winning that one 28-7 also at halftime.
I got to tell you, Grace, a couple surprises there. I'm a little bit surprised by the Frederick score so far. I'm a little bit surprised by the Fort Morgan score. A team we saw last week went out to Fort Morgan, close game, nail-biter toward the finish. Erie never turned over the ball, and yet it was only one possession game late in that one, and right now they're on the road to Palisade and kind of get their doors blown off a little bit.
They are. Saw some stats. They only have 3 first-half first downs, 2 of those on the first play, so Palisade's defense really locking up Fort Morgan, and Palisade's offense not having a whole lot of trouble. Discovery Canyon, you kind of wonder if someone got hurt. They were cruising up number 1 or 2 in the state in most polls until they lost to Lewis Palmer, then got their doors blown off by Palmer Ridge, and now they're losing to Frederick, so 21-7. So interesting score there. If Frederick were to win that, Pueblo East would travel up to Frederick for their Week 2 playoff matchup.
Would be interesting. Well, we're going to take one final timeout. We'll come back and have the kickoff here for the second half here on the Erie Tiger Network. Do you have a plan in place for your family's future in the event something happens to you? Are you caring for aging parents, grandparents, or a loved one with special needs? The Germany law firm named 2017 Erie's Chamber Business of the Year provides expert legal guidance and peace of mind for you and your family in the areas of probate, elder law, and estate planning. Visit Germany Law Firm's Erie Village office or website at coelderlaw.net to set up a personalized consultation.
You are watching the ETN.
And welcome back in for the second half here on the Erie Tiger Network. 12 minutes on the clock here for the third. And Durango, for them, that is already their 12 yards by Markham. And Durango is sending on their punting unit.
And as the punting...
Bradford, and he's got his second turnover of the game. Give him 2... Noah, the Wildcat quarterback with Vera to...
Little statistical fact, Roper moved up 2 spots in the record book.
Fix for you after the break. Tigers lead it 19-0. We'll step aside for a quick 30-second break here on the Erie Tiger Network.
Click the thumbs up.
And welcome back in.
Had several big plays for scores, and they haven't had anything.
A young team, you hope as a coach that they kind of 4 wide, trips to the right. Looking, it's a little draw to Markham, and Markham picks up decent yardage, about 13 yards, but still going to be well short of a first down.
And that good carry by Markham, not enough just to get them the first down. It is his biggest carry of the day. It looks like a draw play. They've had some success with the draw plays. I would be surprised if they don't go back to more of that on their next drive.
And so Durango had trouble getting off their last punt. Ready to punt again here. Punt away, partially blocked, now rolling, and Roper wanted to come up and pick it up. Instead, Durango will jump on it. Having some streaming issues, and I'm not sure what the issue is, so hopefully we'll kind of recorrect it.
And good carry there, Erie, or 21, excuse me, on this drive.
Handoff, or excuse me.
Started running left, made a cut, dove for the pylon, and scored. Now Julian out to kick the extra point. Try to make it a 26-0 game. To take the 10th overall spot on that list. Roper also, for his career, he's 5th now overall in career rushes in the state of Colorado. He passed to Derek Jackson from Pueblo West and Adonis Amin Moore from Mullen earlier today, as the kickoff is a touchback from Castine.
Well, thank you, Grayson. Sorry, fans who are watching. We have had our stream, I don't know, just go down. We switched our wireless source. Appears to be back up. I hope you didn't miss it. It appears you did. 2 Erie touchdowns. 2 punts. Erie with great field position on both. One, they ended up, it was a bobbled punt by Durango, and Erie ends up tackling the punter behind the line, short field position. Ian Vera would score, and then Noah Roper with his 3rd touchdown of the game. He's now got 35 scores on the year. I believe his total last year was 36. Handoff there on first down for Durango, and Markham will lose a yard. And right now, Erie just kind of crushing the spirits of this Durango team.
And Erie doing a great job in the front 7, not letting Markham get going. That was one of the keys to the game, was force Durango, 1, to have to run the ball, and 2, to keep it up the middle, to let their front 7 take care of it. The wind has helped them keep Durango on the ground, and they've done a great job containing Markham, senior running back.
So 2nd and 1. Wolverton in the shotgun. He's got 2 running backs back there this time. Claps the hands, and a late snap. That's going to be a false start basically on the center there. As we had a nice shot lined up for you there. Well, at least we hope. So right now for Noah, and you may have heard Grayson say just as our stream came back on, 263 yards rushing today on 27 carries, averaging 9.7 yards a carry. Actually, the average going down here today.
It's kind of crazy just to say 9.7 yards a carry and average going down. No, depending on how the rest of the playoffs go, if he has any other big runs today.
Wolverton takes the snap. He'll run the option, pitches out wide to the right, and Markham will drop the head and barrel his way. And a late flag coming in from the referee, the white hat behind the play. And not sure what this one is.
And The referees will conference as they have done several times today.
Yeah, lots of penalties today here on Durango. They have kind of struggled in that area. It looks to be a hold, and this is going to back Durango up even further. So they'll run second down again, and that one's going to go all the way back to the 9.
Durango, a very, very long field right now. If they want to stay in this game, at least reasonably, this is almost a must-score drive for them.
Handoff on a little delay and a 2-yard pickup there for Durango. I think, I can't tell if that was Markham or Overton, or Wolverton, I beg your pardon. So 3rd and 18. So Durango kind of taking their time now, just trying to recatch their bearings here. Wolverton takes the snap. And another penalty. And this time it's a offside call, but on Durango. That's what the sideline official, so I think the receiver just lined up in an offside position.
Couple scores as they're making the penalty adjustments. Palmer Ridge 28, Pueblo South 7, Palisade 38, Fort Morgan 7. Both of those games late in the third quarter, and looking like the top seeds will take those ones.
So 3rd and real long here. They've got to hurry because the play clock running down. Wolverton does get the snap off. There's the delay, and Jamie Nelms wraps up Markham in the backfield. And right now, Durango stuck in reverse, as this one will go all the way back to the 2. A loss of 5 on the play.
And now you're maybe thinking blocked punt. Obviously, at the 2-yard line, not a lot of room for the punter. Had a block earlier. Or an almost block.
This time Wolverton will stay out for the punt. 1:49 remaining here in the third quarter. This one, a high punt into the wind, and Noah will catch it. Spins out of a tackle, trying to stay on his feet, weaving back and forth, breaking several tackles, and an exciting about 7-yard return for Noah Roper.
And a good return. Several broken tackles, just weaving back and forth. And you could tell by how he ran up that he really wanted that punt return. Hasn't gotten as many chances to return punts and kicks. It's been kicked away from him more often than not this year, as teams try to limit the damage that he can do. But they're eager and for a punt return, and he got one.
So 1:30 left here in the quarter. So 1st and 10 for the Tigers. This time Dion Lucero in, and the Tigers have Tyler Gardner. In fact, kind of second unit of specialists or backs here for the Tigers. Lucero takes a snap, hands off to Gardner, and flags go flying, and they're going to blow this one dead, a false start here on Erie. And that happens when you change the cadence with a new quarterback comes in, and sometimes the line just not quite used to that cadence.
It does, and this is a good line, but first snap with Lucero quarterback today. And like you said, just the different cadences that they have. Mason Vivi, Tyler Gardner on the field, and a 4 wide receiver set, Jamie Nelms in the slot. something we haven't seen all year.
Lucero runs play action. He's going to fire it down the seam. Oh, in and out of the hands of Jamie Nelms. It was almost picked off by Wolverton, and then Nelms almost hauled it in for a touchdown. Just off his fingertips, incomplete. And the Tigers 0 for 3 today in the passing game. Couple near touchdown catches.
A few. The drop, or the one that went just off Furman's hands, and then that one, which Wolverton made a play on.
And now Lucero bottled up on the carry, but still good job picking up about 4 yards there. Lucero now 13 yards rushing on the afternoon. He's still in there with Gardner behind him. 1:01 left in the quarter. Lucero checks in with the sideline. Tigers still with the wind. We might see him go to the air here on 3rd and 11. Now Gardner flanking Lucero to his right. Dion takes a snap, runs play action, fires the fade route down the sideline, and Kana never really got any separation. In fact, very good coverage down that sideline. And another flag. This one will be a roughing the passer. So Durango gets a stop on 3rd down and then a personal foul roughing the passer. And, man, you got to feel for these Demons. It just seems like so far this half, nothing going according to their script.
No, all the breaks in this game really have gone to Erie. Good for us. We're up 26-0 as the 3rd quarter winds down. This game not like last year's.
And it should be an automatic 1st down on a personal foul call, and it is. So they'll move that 1st and 10 at the 11. Still Lucero and Gardner in for the Tigers in the backfield. Lucero takes the short snap, hands off Gardner, left side, lowers the head and gets stacked up at the line, and he will pick up 1.
And for Gardner, maybe you'd want to get him more a little bit to the outside the tackles, so he can take on the linebackers. Not the tallest guy in the world, Gardner. So you'd like to maybe move him out. Different style of running as compared to Roper.
2nd and 9 now for Erie. Nelms will motion across the formation. Lucero takes a snap, and that's the end of the quarter. So just didn't quite get the snap out. But at the end of 3 quarters, Erie leads Durango here at home 26-0. We'll step aside, take a timeout, have quarter 4 for you after the timeout here on the Erie Tiger Network.
Click the search bar on the top right hand.
Yeah, I'm married. Doesn't matter. You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I'd like that.
Who are you talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm. Sounds like a really good deal.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning? Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis.
She sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy, so.
Another reason more people stay with State Farm. Get to a better state.
Open up a browser and look up youtube.com/Erie Tiger Network. To subscribe, sign into YouTube and press the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to receive notifications about ETN posts. To like the video, click the thumbs up button on the right hand side of the screen. Use the bar on the bottom of the screen to move and skip parts in the video. To skip forward or backwards, use the arrow keys to move 5 seconds. You can pause the video at any time.
And welcome back in. We join you right at the snap. Gardner gets the handoff and scores. Oh, joined you just a hair late, and in the blink of an eye, Tyler Gardner bends it around the right side for 10 yards and an Erie Tiger touchdown, and the route is on. And for Tyler Gardner, he is now nearing in on 300 yards rushing on the season.
Good carry there for Gardner. Couldn't quite see all of it just because of the angle. I believe he did get to the outside on that one.
Now Castine on to kick the extra point here, and that one is good. So the Tigers 33-0. And the second half has been really good for these Tigers. Defensively, they have not given ground in the running game. I don't know what Coach Mickens talked about there at halftime, but the Tigers shored up all the areas they needed to.
They did, and you mentioned not giving up ground in the running game. Last week against Fort Morgan, that was a problem. And now, well, no points allowed kind of speaks for itself against a team that has the capability to put up a lot of points. We've seen them put up over 50 points multiple times this year. However, in their losses, relatively low scoring.
So the Tigers will take the field here for the kickoff with 11:54 left. And look at this Durango squad, and 6-4 on the year, but a very tough schedule. In fact, they were very high in RPI last week before their game against Pueblo South. We even thought that they could potentially finish higher than Erie in RPI with a win, as that one goes into the end zone. When you look at their schedule, they were 3-2 in conference play. But they put 34 points up on Pagosa Springs. Only scored 3 against Palisade, one of their 4 losses. Put 36 points up on one of the top teams in 4A, Montrose. 32 points, 44 to Farmington, 33 to Pueblo Centennial, 24. Only put up 10 points to South. Sorry, that's Pueblo East last week, by the way, not Pueblo South. 7 points last week, but right now, Bagel on the scoreboard. So good job by this Erie defense, trying to do something no other team has done this year. Wolverton fires the slant. Nice catch there. I believe that was Heiss on the catch, actually, for Durango. That was Heiss.
And I bet, as now Durango's going with the wind and not into it, that you'll see them take full advantage of that and start throwing the ball a lot in the last quarter of this one.
And so 11:23 left, second down here for Durango. 2nd and 5. Handoff, Markham, or that's not even Markham. Up the sideline, across the midfield, the 40, down inside the 30. A huge run there. And that was actually Ben Finiseth. We have not called his name all day, and he came in and busted by far the longest play of the day. A pickup there of almost 50 yards. 49-yard run.
And
keep giving that guy the ball.
Yeah, and if my memory serves, he has fewer than 5 carries on the year, just looking at some of Durango's stats before this one. So he's also a sophomore. Interesting to see that class of 2021 looking pretty good for Durango.
And that slant in and out of the hands of Heiss. And so that'll bring up 2nd and 10. Now it appears our replay system is down. Technology, gotta love it.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Ball spotted near the far hash. A rolling snap. Wolverton picked it up like a shortstop off the turf and then was able to kind of make something out of it. In fact, picked up 8 yards. Nice little run there by Wolverton as that ball pretty much rolled into his hands.
It did, and that's been something that we've seen a couple times. It's almost worked for Durango several times. Just low snaps, and a lot of them, their rushes just on the busted plays have been better than on the not busted plays, than on the designed runs.
3rd and 3 here for the Demons. Wolverton in the shotgun. He's got 4 wide, 2 to each side. Wind at his back. Finiseth, the ball carrier, loses the football, and 3 Tigers fall on top of it. And Durango gets inside the red zone, but gives up the football. And also a flag on the play as Nate Hackney kind of limping away, and I'm not sure what happened, or a chop block is called on Durango. So it'll still stand as a turnover, and things just going bad to worse for the Demons.
And good to great for Erie as they now have the ball. 9 minutes left in the game. Chance to run most of the clock off of this one.
So if Erie does score again here, they would produce running clock, which I believe would be the 7th time this season that they trigger the running clock. The only teams they did not: Pueblo South, Meade, Fort Morgan,
and Evergreen.
So everyone else, they have put the running clock on, including Frederick, who might be a quarterfinalist. So 1st and 10. It's Mendoza. Play action, looks downfield, wants Nelms, fires it, high arcing, rainbow, caught by Nelms, across midfield, the 30, all the way down, finally pushed out of bounds to the 15.
And what a catch by Nelms. Perfect throw by Mendoza. He saw that play coming open and threw a perfect ball to Nelms. Nelms stumbled a little bit as he caught it. So Wolverton was able to knock him out of bounds.
Yeah, first completion of the day for Erie, and it's a 65-yard completion. Mendoza had a man open underneath, and you just saw his eyes light up, found Jamie Nelms, and rainbowed it to him perfectly. Now, handoff here, right side, Gardner hesitating in the hole. Now bursts through. Decent size pickup there, and finally corralled after a pickup of 9 yards for Gardner. Really good job of patient running that time behind the just black shirts paving the way.
It was a good run by Gardner. Made a smart decision, took it outside the tackles, and moved it up for 9 or maybe 8 yards.
We'll mark that back a little bit. Now Vivi and Kana split out wide to the left. Mendoza will take it himself, and that's going to be right on the marker. It'll depend on the spot. They're going to call him a little bit short there. Mendoza, his 5th carry, he has about 21 yards. In this game, the Tigers are rushing for over 8 yards a carry, 342 yards on the ground as a team, 407 yards of total offense. And a little miscommunication. Gardner ultimately gets it, has a head of steam, a clear path, and Tyler Gardner scores his 2nd touchdown of the game. And with an extra point, Erie would put on the running clock.
And Erie having no problems today with their running game. Tyler Gardner had a hole, found the hole, and scored his 2nd touchdown of the day. Most, I believe he has not had 2 in a game all year. Maybe in that Evergreen game he might have had 2. But I think this is his first time with 2 touchdowns.
Now the snap is good, hold is good, kick is up, and it is good, and the Tigers lead it 40-0 here over Durango. And the referee signals start the clock, and Tiger players down there celebrating with the winding clock motion, as that is now the 7th time this season they have got the running clock going. Wow. Tigers, I think there was nervousness when the seeding came out. Obviously, you're nervous that you are a seed that you didn't expect to be. You're the third seed, not the second seed. And I think initially Tiger fans were a little upset. And then on top of that, you draw Durango, a team you felt like, man, they are not the 13th best team in this playoff this year. And, well, here we are. And Erie, doesn't matter. They came out with a mission, especially here in the second half, as they have put up 40 and now lead it 40-0.
No, the defense has been great. The offense has been great. And after last week's nail-biter, this is not one at all as Erie rolls. And as we start looking ahead with the running clock to next week's game, it'll be at home. We don't know yet the day, maybe Friday, maybe Saturday, but Erie will be hosting Green Mountain, a team that outside of their losses, or lost to Palisade, and then another early season loss to a team who is slipping my mind at the moment. They haven't been tested. They rolled pretty easily over Thomas Jefferson last night. Got a chance to watch some of that one. Green Mountain did like to throw the ball a little bit. Maybe this kind of offense similar to what Durango has, except they were wildly successful putting up 34 points.
1st and 10 for Durango, another low snap, and the backups are now in for the Demons as well as a 5-yard pickup there. Well, we're going to call it early. There's still 6 minutes left, but it is running clock. Our Alex Ailey, player of the game, he sponsors this segment on Patreon, and so we have a fun little graphic. Our Alex Ailey, player of the game, is the defense today. 0 points in a playoff game. This Durango team hasn't been shut out all year, and the defense comes through big time. Tyler Gardner, 2 touchdowns. Noah Roper, a bunch of touchdowns. Of course, we could give it to him every week, 260 yards. So we're spreading the love a little bit here this week. As there's a pass overshoots his intended target. And that was Mestis that it was intended for. And clock still rolling. In fact, I think they paused it for just a second, forgetting that it's running clock. We'll give Mr. Fox a hard time here. Actually, he may have already left, as he's the clock operator for the Tigers. And he's not been a very busy man this year. Handoff inside, and Finiseth will have a first down. And the officials down there started signaling. I mean, they're used to stopping the clock here, but clock will keep rolling. 4:35 and counting. So a great day for a playoff game. The Tigers will host one more game this year. That will be it, because no matter what happens, they will have to go on the road. As far as the playoffs work, it's not high seed that hosts every game in the CHSAA playoffs. It's fewest games host with the high seed winning the tiebreaker. And because of your options are this. You play a team that hasn't played 2 full home games, if Erie were to win next week, of course. So you play a team that hasn't played 2 full home games, or you play Pueblo East, who maybe has played 2 full home games, but then they're the higher seed. So Erie will be traveling if they make it to that semifinal game. Got to get past Green Mountain next week first. High arcing pass is knocked away.
Adam Hunter on that pass breakup.
And 3rd down here for the Demons. 3:20, clock still rolling here on a now very overcast and blustery afternoon. But what a great moment for these Tiger players as they now win another playoff game, and they will host another one